Hey everyone, John Henry here, slingshotfutures.com, and welcome to the Market Mindset, where we take a look at the psychology behind the moves today so we can better understand tomorrow. And today, we're taking a look at the Bund futures. Now, the Bund had a lot of really good movement in the overnight session, and if you were awake during the European session, you probably had a pretty good trading day. Now, we are going into FOMC day today, and a lot of traders are going to be looking at this kind of day as early in, early out. Just like we were saying last night in the newsletter, nobody wants to hang around when you've got a bunch of big news coming out in the afternoon session. Everybody wants to get in, make the money, get out, and not look back, right? So the early morning session definitely had some of the best price action with a lot of beautiful pullbacks on the way higher, lots of good traps. But when we come in, we start looking at the markets at around 8 o'clock, and we didn't see, or, well, we did see, but we weren't able to get any of those trades because, well, I wasn't awake yet, right? Now, the overall momentum to the upside, we're seeing that the buyers are owning this market. Every time it pulls back, shoots right back higher. But we're getting a lot more chop, a lot more back and forth, and generally what that means is the buyers are not as interested in buying at the highs anymore. They don't believe that we're going to get a big breakout. And so that tells us we need to be buying a pullback. We need to buy better prices, buy cheap when it makes sense to buy rather than buying at the highs and hoping that it goes further up. Buying high, hoping it goes higher is going to be a tough scenario to be in. So we start getting this nice little pullback right at 8 o'clock. Nice little pullback, it pauses, slams down, big bear candle, immediately taken back on the bull side. And that's basically just finding a base right around where we found a huge amount of support from before. And if you've watched the twin reversal tutorial video, that's right there, right? Beautiful twin reversal off of the lows telling us, you know what, the sellers probably got trapped. The sellers might be suckered into this move now thinking it's going to go lower. Now we have fuel to the upside. Now the buyers can jump in and push the market back to a new high, and that offered up a beautiful buying opportunity that did end up spiking back to a new high. But if you didn't jump in there, we had a quick little pause into another bull move higher. This does take away quite a bit of the movement profitability, but there was still room for a scalp to get a little bit more out of the trade up there at the top. Now, once we started grinding higher, we now effectively have a big move up, 1, 2, and 3. And a lot of times when you have that rounding off in more of a 3-push type of wedge, you get that correction. They pull back, they find the highs back again, and we get a big explosive breakout. Now, a lot of times when you get that big explosive breakout this late in a trend, way over here, right? If I would have seen that candle back here, I would be very happy about buying. But this is a little bit of a different scenario. We're getting it way at the end of the trend. This trend has been going on since 3 this morning. I'm going to have a really hard time believing this breakout, and there will be sellers that sell that move because they don't believe it. Now, I try to go with the trend myself. I'm a big fan of trend trading. The trend is your friend, as they always say. So what I'm looking for is a pullback, right? We get a pullback back to the area of support. This is where we broke out of before. We pulled back, and the buyers obviously found interest here, and there was a huge amount of buy volume resting right there. Couldn't even trigger them all in. And now we find our way back to that area of support once again and turn with a candle closing on its highs. Another opportunity to become a buyer and push the market back up towards the top. So very interesting day of psychology and technical analysis with both a spike in kind of a channel play as well as a trap in knowing that traders are stuck on the wrong side of the move, and that allowed the buyers to swarm in and get a good consistent move right back up to the highs and another one right after that. So that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you found it useful, maybe a little bit entertaining, and we'll see you next time.